Alright, what's up guys? I was going to do an unboxing here, but as you all know, unboxings are pretty straightforward. This one just came with 3 pieces of foam, the end cap in the center, and is wrapped in a bag. And other than that, it was, pretty straightforward, so I decided to skip that step. So first of all, the manual. You can see this is for the 125.2, 60.4, and 125/4. Class A, B, like you'd expect the mids and highs amp to be. Dimensions are, I think, 15, or not 15, 17 or 18 inches or so long, and about 7.5 wide, which is why one of the main reasons I got it, besides quality, was just general footprint. So back to the manual. It's going to be your typical manual with wiring diagrams for single subwoofers, or wiring, say, your mids and highs on channel 1 and 2, and your subwoofer on 3 and 4 bridged at 4 ohms. Got your specifications list, your dimensions. I should probably have read that before I told y'all dimensions. Hooking up RCAs, hooking up general amps, self-tapping screws, precautions, standard manual stuff. So as far as the amplifier goes, I'll do some close-up shots and whatnot of this, but just kind of show y'all real quick here. 4-gauge inputs, your protection and on light. Looks to be about 8-gauge or so, maybe 10-gauge inputs for the remote, and same for the speaker outputs. Channel 3, 4, 1 and 2. On the other end, you have your line in, they split them up, and your filter settings. I'll get more in depth with those as I do my close-ups. I like this billet style heatsink they've got going on, the kind of rounded or tapered front, the blue line with the blue logo. It helps to go with the logo on the front, which lights up blue. And then the actual amplifier internals, or the guts, on the bottom. Like I said, I'm going to do close-ups of all of these, so just hang tight. Let me fade in and out, or crossfade, and get you all your close-ups. Okay, here is the power inputs and speaker outputs of the amplifier. Like I said, it's nothing too crazy. Phillips head on the set screws, which I like. It's a little easier to come by than carrying a bunch of Allen wrenches. But that's my preference. Some people's preference is Allen wrenches or hex head, whatever you want to call it. So like I said, 4-gauge inputs for the power and ground. It looks like 8-gauge for everything else, which is nice. You have your on and protection light, which I'm assuming changes from a green to a red or a blue to a red when it goes into protect. And then there's also a few little vents down at the bottom, you can see right there, which is nice. You can see the bottom channel of speaker inputs actually don't stick out too incredibly far, but they still give you a good amount of access for getting to them. So I'm going to go ahead and spin the amp around and show you all the other side. Okay, so here's the crossover and RCA input side of the amplifier. You've got your channel 1 and 2 up top, and your channel 3 and 4 down low. What's cool, some amplifiers do this, some don't, but it's nice to have the option. You've got your high pass, full, and low pass filters, which is pretty standard. And then over here you actually have your ×10 on your low pass, or ×10 on your high pass, or a ×1, which leaves it the standard crossover point, or actual width, frequency width, that you'd be setting it for. Same for channel 1 and 2. So if you have it on, say, the center, it's going to do 50 hertz to 500 hertz. If you switch it to a ×10, it's going to, of course, do 500 hertz to 5,000 hertz, which gives you a good option of running, I think you can run these active or something like that, and you can basically run super tweeters straight off the amp and not worry about putting some passive crossover in between the amplifier and the tweeter, causing, I guess, unwanted noise or distortion or anything like that for people who are a little more into the SQ side of things. Probably shouldn't have mentioned super tweeter with SQ. A lot of people don't like that, but yeah, I mean, very clean on both sides. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you all the good part, the actual bottom of the amp. So give me a second here. So here's the bottom of the amplifier. I'm not going to get too in depth with a lot of this stuff on the bottom and start throwing out a mumbo jumbo and some jargon. So just kind of take it as you see it, and give you all a little bit to look at that, or y'all can pause the video.